Welcome to Outdoor Cast Iron Cooking. Today we're going to be doing some lamb in preparation for an event we have coming up in August where we're going to be cooking lamb at the county fair. So today we're doing two different things. We're going to be doing leg of lamb in the Dutch oven, and we're going to be doing some rack of lamb on the barbecue.
Hi, I'm Joni, the Teardrop Nanny. We're here today at Swimmer's Delight along the Van Duzen, and it's all about
eating good in the great outdoors.
Stay tuned for more of lamb today.
For the leg of lamb that we're going to be doing in the Dutch oven, first thing we want to do is get a dry rub on it. So we've put our dry ingredients here in this paper bag. We're just going to take the 2 pieces of leg of lamb, put them in the bag.
Shake it all about.
Shake and bake.
That's what outdoor cooking's all about.
Okay, we've got the dry rub on the leg of lamb. We're just going to set this aside for a while.
In the paper bag, there are 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, a half a teaspoon of dry mustard, 1 teaspoon salt, a half teaspoon of black pepper, and it's going to put aside to one time. When you get ready, you're going to be browning the lamb in hot oil, but not yet.
The recipe we're doing for the leg of lamb calls for the lamb to be braised, or we're going to brown it in some oil to seal it. And so what I've got here, I've got about a half a chimney of coals, and I'm just going to dump those out on my table. Just going to flatten them out a bit. And I'm going to set the oven right down in the middle of them. And that should get me plenty hot. The oil's ready to go. I'm going to take my pre-coated legs of lamb that we coated up earlier with the dry rub. Ooh, there's that nice sizzling sound. What we're going to do is we're going to brown this up on all sides, seal the meat. We're going to take the leftover coals, use that for our first hour of cooking. Once I add all the other ingredients in, the recipe calls to cook it pretty hot for an hour, and then we're going to tune it way down for about 6 hours. We've got the lamb sealed on all 4 sides, and what I did is I put the fat side down last. With lamb, I'm told that you want to cook the fat side down. So I'm going to add now a can of consommé,
1 10.5-ounce
can of cream of mushroom soup,
same size, 10 1/2 ounce.
It looks like I'll be basting this a little while at first.
We'll also be adding in 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of the kitchen bouquet, 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 a teaspoon of curry powder, 1/2 a cup of white wine. All of the ingredients now that have been added. He's basting the curry powder, some of the garlic powder, the kitchen bouquet, and other ingredients that were added. Now add in 1/2 a cup of wine. This particular wine happens to be a Chardonnay.
I've got 1 ring of coals on the bottom, and I've got 2 rings of coals on the top. The lamb is going to cook like this for an hour. The lamb's been cooking on high heat for about an hour. Now it's time to drop the heat, cut the heat way back, and cook it low and slow. We're going to go with 6 coals underneath. we're going to go with 8 coals on top. And we're going to cook it like this, probably for about 4 hours. The recipe called for 6, but I think it's going to be ready in about 4 hours. Then we're going to take a look at the leg of lamb. Oh, that leg of lamb looks good. It's going to be a good dinner tonight. We've done a lot of cooking today, and our next culinary delight, we're going to be barbecuing some lamb ribs, rack of ribs. And I've got 2 different dry rubs on. I've got a curry dry rub, and I've got a paprika dry rub. I've got my briquettes on. Everything's ready. Just going to spread these out on the grill.
Are you putting them fat side down?
Yep.
In the bowl, he's got some wood that's been soaking, wood chips that have been soaking in water.
Yeah, I'm going to let the oven come up to temperature. And I've got a little side door right here. I'm going to put these hickory chips in. They've been soaking in water for about an hour. And this is going to be a low and slow affair. And when the ribs are just about done, I'm going to glaze them with a raspberry chipotle sauce. Should be really good. Added a batch of hickory chips onto the briquettes, and as you can see, we're getting some good smoke. That smoke's going to go right into that rack of ribs.
Smoking grill sergeant.
Okay, I just got through putting the raspberry chipotle sauce glaze on there. Our friends Ruth and Larry from the club showed up to join us for dinner. Ruth is, we call her Mrs. President. She's out walking the dog right now, but Larry, we call him the first man, since Ruth is the president, but he's also known as Sweating Eagle.
That's me.
And it looks like Mrs. President just returned with walking her dog. And this is Ruth, the president of our Dutch Oven Society.
Hello.
And here comes the rack of ribs, covered with raspberry chipotle sauce.
Today is Lamb Day. It's all about eating good in the great outdoors.
What kind of cuts we got going on down there, Dean? What's at the far end?
These are leg of lamb, and these are lamb ribs.
What's in the foil tin here?
Shepherd's pie.
Made with lamb.
Ground lamb.
Ground lamb.
And barbecued corn on the cob.